So now that you're absolutely sure which elements are staying, which iteration of the concept you're going to use, you can really spend some time perfecting the details. So something I want to stress about this stage is that depending on your client, with a real world project, this could be a case of packaging things up so that they're ready to go, or it could require a few stages of minor tweaks and changes. Some clients are going to be really happy and confident with what you've presented them. Some might still be on the fence, and so you have to push them over the finish line. So you can see on the screen at the moment lots of different slight variations of this monogram that the client requested before we decided on this finished article. So really at this stage, this is when we want to look at things under the microscope. And what I mean by that is zooming in on Illustrator as far as you possibly can and making sure there's nothing you've missed. Especially if you're using a tool like the shape builder, or if you've customized the shape of these characters in some way. You really want to look out for anything that's not deliberate that you've put there. So we still wanted this kind of irregular, it's not geometrically perfect, the serif on this G. We wanted it to have a more handmade, hand lettered feel, which is in contrast to the sharpness we have on the S, but that has to be deliberate. Everything that you decide to keep or that stays, you've got to make a decision that it's there and it's doing what you want it to. Now, a few quick tips that can help you to decide whether something's balanced correctly or not is to flip it. And sometimes our brains, all we can see when we look at this is the S and the G. They're very familiar characters to us. But if I group this, right click to transform and reflect, sometimes looking at it like this, you'll notice things about the geometry of this that you simply didn't notice before. So for me, my eye goes to the S. I realize that this top portion has quite a different profile to the bottom half. Now that's okay. That's something we decided to keep. But it's an example of a kind of element you might notice when you flip this and you're no longer seeing it as a character, you're seeing it as a geometric shape. You can flip it the other way as well. So reflect it on its horizontal axis. And sometimes again, that might just help you to spot something in terms of balancing that you hadn't seen before. If I revert that back, you'll also want to shrink this right down and make sure it's well balanced, even at a very small size. So you want to zoom out as well as in to make sure if this appears on social media as a tiny little avatar, is the design still going to work? Better to make those kind of adjustments now than when you finalize the logo. And then of course you want to show the logo in full final color, in a context of the logo type and any other elements the logo are going to have. So this was the finished article, the finished logo that I created for Stanley Gibbons. If we go to our modern example now, we have the advantage that because we designed the monogram in a way it was geometrically perfect, this literally could just be packaged up and ready to go. So you'll generally want to create two logo lockups for your clients. One where you show it in a landscape orientation like this, on a light as well as a dark background. But then for certain situations, your client may want it in this format, where it's upright and where the monogram appears above the accompanying logo type. So be sure to create both versions and provide both to your client, because for different situations, they may need to call on one or the other. So really think about this, look at it in different orientations, flip it, zoom in, zoom out. You want to ensure it's absolutely perfect. And if in doubt, try something else, try another iteration where you've eliminated anything that's bothering you. Is there any way that you can make the monogram or the logo more perfect? So ideally, these suggestions should be coming from you. When it comes to those fine-tuning tweaks and balancing, it's not something you want your client to realize they had missed months down the line where perhaps they take a closer look at the logo. The onus is really on you to provide them with something that's professional and as perfect as it can be. So having done that, once you're happy, you're ready to present that final version to your client, get them to sign it off, and it's ready for you to prepare final files to be used.